Hey everybody, it's Tyrant Qualtano here, internet's lamest Magic player. And I've got a bone to pick, a stick to dig, a canal to create when it comes to Magic the Gathering at the moment. You want to know my least favorite mechanic right now in Magic? You want to know? Come closer. Do you want to know? Do you want to know? Okay, can you guess from the title of the video that you'll never be able to guess? It's Tron, folks. It was Tron. See, I saw you saying it might have been Hexproof because of the title of the video, but no, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay, Hexproof might be that bad, and you might be saying to yourself, Come on, Tyrant. Hexproof isn't that bad. Just block it with a creature or another creature. Hang on, Tyrant. Just play Settle the Wreckage, or chill out, Tyrant. Just play a self-sacrificing creature against the Hexproof creature if they only have one creature on the battlefield. It's easy. It's simple. There's also, the detention tower comments, I'm sure, that are in the comments as well. Listen here, you primordial bipedals. I know a good way around Hexproof, all right? I'm not saying there is no way we can't deal with Hexproof, but when it comes to narrow designs like this, the problem in itself is the mechanic. You have to specifically board cards into your deck for this mechanic, and it might be just for like 6.66% of your opponent's deck. That's right, that's 4 in 60. 4 in 60. That's how many Carnage Tyrants are in a standard deck right now. 4 in 60. So while we're on Carnage Tyrant, since I brought it up, let's take that card as an example. See this? See this walking middle finger to your entire control deck? This is why I hate Hexproof. Think Carnage Tyrant is okay? Well, modern players, have you seen this slippery little fella? The card that makes an entire deck, by the way? Oh, wait. What about the Innistrad Limited? Did any of you play that? Remember Invisible Stalker? The Hexproof unblockable creature? You heard that right, folks. It's a card that's so busted, you just throw equipment on it, and you just win the game. That's it. You're done. So what's the big deal here? Can you handle Hexproof? You probably can, right? Here's my hang up here. Hexproof and Shroud, to kind of a lesser extent, create a game where I'm no longer playing kind of a rock, paper, scissors game, but instead of playing like a rock, paper, like Slinky, or whatever third thing you want to come up with that's not rock, paper, scissors game. Hexproof on creatures usually require an answer immediately, and there are like 0 answers in your main deck most of the time, and if there are, you probably won't draw it then, or you've already used it on a previous Hexproof creature since, there might be 4 of them in the deck. Or more. And especially thanks to cards like Carnage Tyrant, because let's be honest here, Carnage Tyrant might be the best creature ever printed with Hexproof, because it also has a massive body, has trample, and also can't be countered. So one of the methods to potentially curving the appetite of Hexproof creatures in your matchup is, just simply counter the creatures for the battlefield. No sweat. With Carnage Tyrant, no longer possible. Now you just have to sit there and watch this card melt your face. It wasn't really until Doom Whisperer and Plaguecrafter that we really got cards that were like sack answers for this card, and also Doom Whisperer being just a decent body to block Carnage Tyrant, even though you're still taking 1 point of damage. But even then, it's not really a good answer for Carnage Tyrant, because of course you're trading with creatures just to deal with the threat, and that's kind of messy on the battlefield sometimes, especially in Standard right now due to all the fight mechanics, all the +1/+1 counters, and just a bunch of other nonsense right now. It forces you to play a deck style of your deck that you might not even be suited for, meaning that when an opponent plays their Carnage Tyrant, it's basically game over, even though you didn't really do anything wrong. Like you're playing the game back and forth, pass a turn. They play Carnage Tyrant, I guess I'll die. They just have like the unholy answer to control or removal or whatever your deck's trying to do. And let's look at even the larger formats, like Modern, for example. Slippery Boggle is in a deck that actually does really well right now in tournaments and testing, and it's nothing but an aura deck that overwhelms you with a stinking 1/1 Hexproof creature that turns into like a 15/15 godlike wrecking ball. To make matters worse, there are a lot of totem armors in Modern right now, so one board wipe just can't deal with the Slippery Boggle. Settle the Wreckage is basically the only option in Modern as well, but again, that's only coming in on like turn 4, like minimum, maybe turn 3 if you're like playing it in a weird like mana deck, but even then, that's still a lot of damage coming to your face on turn 2 and 3, so again, what do? I guess I'll die. Hexproof is one of those mechanics that forces you to kind of play old school Magic, and by that I mean you just kind of win by blocking their creatures and they block your creatures in more of a conventional way. It's sort of like how Back to Basics is a fun idea in concept, but if it wasn't Modern right now, it would potentially destroy every single deck in the archetype, since those decks heavily lean on non-basic lands. Hexproof makes a situation where your deck might just be dead if you don't have an immediate answer, or don't run creatures, or don't run Settle, or something like that. And people might say Hexproof is fine, and then other mechanics are worse, like Tron, or Infect, or Storm, or even Delve, or something like that. But those mechanics are only, quote, worse, because WotC printed busted cards that supplement those mechanics from other sets. I mean, WotC had to literally ban like 3 cards in the Storm deck just to slow that deck down, but they really didn't ban like any Storm cards particularly. Infect had to have Blazing Shoal banned because that was like a turn 2 or turn 3 win. But Infect itself is like not terrible, you know, it's not amazing. But Hexproof, I think it just flies right under the radar of like being one of those mechanics where it's like on paper it seems fine and in practice it's like, why? And let's say like in standard on turn 5 or 6 where you've used a lot of your resources, you guys are going back and forth in trading, and your opponent plays a Carnage Tyrant. Yeah. Bye-bye life total. Is this just a big video of me complaining about Carnage Tyrant? Yes it is. But do you guys also hate Hexproof? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think it's probably a fine mechanic, or do you think it's a mechanic that kind of takes advantage of past magic design and kind of subverts it to the point where dealing with Hexproof requires big giant reach arounds for your deck type? I personally would like to never see Hexproof again in the future. That's just me. It's just not a fun mechanic. And especially in sealed or draft when you have maybe 2 or even 3 pieces of removal thanks to crappy sealed pools or drafting pods. It's just one of those mechanics where it's like, if you don't have an answer immediately, you're probably gonna die to that creature, and it's gonna be ugly. Anyway, hope you like this random video of my complaints because I found it fun. Like if you like it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you want to catch me on Twitch, I'm streaming Monday through Thursday, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, and of course we have Fridays, Fan Friday, on the channel here at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, so look out for that. Thanks guys. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome MTG content just like this. And make sure to tap the bell icon to be notified whenever a video is made live. If you want to keep watching content, here are 2 more videos for you. This video and many others are sponsored by MTGO Traders and Cape Fear Games. Buy and sell digital singles to build your online collection today with MTGO Traders, and get your paper singles, accessories, and much more from Cape Fear Games. Whatever your magic needs, both places have you covered.